passing time. Talking about dreams that never fade. Skates on ice, we watch the parade. Life's a game and we're in the rink. Laughing hard, don't care what they
Welcome back to episode 3 of Two Bored Ladies.
Hello.
This is Angie and Karen. All right, so we are a day late in releasing our, I guess it's going to be
a couple days,
two
yeah.
days late, in releasing our thing, and that's my fault. When we get into our little weekend review, I'll explain why. So, Angie, would you like to start your weekend review?
Yeah, sure. So.
Okay, wait. Where's the
whoa.
weekend review?
Oh my god. I don't even remember how it goes. Weekend review, weekend review, weekend review. I'm pretty sure it was different.
No, I'm pretty sure that was it exactly. Absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna have to get something real for that, but
Yeah.
for now that'll do. Okay, so I guess my big news following the podcast last week was the women's hockey tournament that I participated in. So I practiced on Thursday night of last week, I think, so that I could get, doesn't matter.
Tuesday, yeah.
I practiced with the guys, and I came home to Roy and I was like, so a couple things that are really important for hockey. Being able to skate forward and then turn and skate backwards, stopping, and physical fitness and endurance. And it turns out I don't have any of these things. So, but it's okay. So Tuesday night was fun. Got to meet some of the girls that were on the team. The guys were really courteous, and it was a good time. So then Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah.
before you get to Saturday,
Yeah.
you told me one funny tidbit from your practice on Tuesday night when you might have had a little slip up and then got back to the bench and there was somebody sitting there.
Oh yeah. So on my very first shift, playing with the guys, I fell. And I get back to the bench, and one of the younger kids looks at me. He's like, "We all start somewhere." Just like, oh shit. So that really put me in my place.
I love that so much.
And, so jesting, but so then Saturday was the big day. No, sorry, Friday was the big day, and we had 2 games back to back, so 10 o'clock and a 12 o'clock. So much fun. I'll start with that. So much fun. But yeah, it was really, really hard physically. We were very outplayed. To be fair to our team, we had the one practice on Tuesday night with about 1/5 of the team. And the teams from the other locations actually practiced. One of them had a coach.
Wow.
Right?
So
they had like systems. They knew where they were going. They could go forward and backwards.
And stop.
We had some very talented women on our team here too. Just didn't have the team chemistry, right? But it was so awesome. We had about 17 girls or women show. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had, there was 2 kids from the youth team watching us, and we realized halfway through the first game we needed them. So we pulled them onto the team as well, and they did so good. It was just, it was really cool to watch them play with the older ladies and have a good time with us. And one of them was with their mom on our team, so it was just really neat. I fell a lot, even when nothing was happening around me. I was standing waiting for the puck to drop, and I fell. And then in the second game, I decided that going after the puck is the wrong decision. I got to follow the hips and take out the person. So that's what I decided to do.
Ooh.
So I did check someone, except a bigger woman came and smoked me. And I smashed my head down on the ice, so they actually had to come check on me because I didn't move right away. And I was very scared I was going to have a concussion. Turns out I pushed through the game. I had a minor headache, and I was fine. I woke up incredibly sore, incredibly sore, but more than that, humbled. So my son plays, and I'm always in his face about get in front of them. What, like, you know, you're a human pylon. I'm not mean to him like that, but maybe I'm thinking things like that, right?
Yep.
I yelled out on the ice, "Why are you such a pylon?" to myself. So I think I'm going to be taking a step back in terms of offering any hints or tips to my son. Just because he's doing the best he can out there.
Yeah.
So,
You also have to be kind to yourself. You can't compare yourself to your son because he is.
he's been doing it for a few years.
And he's also 10 years old.
Yeah, no, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
So, out of all of that, I've seemed to have joined. We'll be practicing on Saturdays now when I'm not out of town with the kids.
So like you're gonna have, and then maybe other tournaments or invite teams to come in.
Yeah,
play,
so they
or-
talked about potentially having a couple, like another tournament here, or heading up north to one of the teams that came down to see us,
Nice.
and playing up there. I think though, I'm not gonna be able to make that. We've got spring break and a trip out to west coming up, but I know a lot of the women were on board with heading up north on the train all
Awesome.
together. So yeah,
That'll be a
that'll
lot
be a
of
good
fun.
time for sure. So, hopefully we can keep it together through the ice season and then see what happens at the start of next season.
Well, it's
So-
exciting. Well, I was very sad because I wasn't able to
Yes.
watch. Kate had a medical, so we had to go out of town for the day. But I did give Lauren permission to skip school to go watch, and they told me they did, so that was
They
good.
sure
They said you
did.
did really well. They did see your fall. They were a little worried about you, but they said you kept getting back up, and that they were super proud of you. So
Yeah, it was pretty awesome
Yeah.
to see them up there with their boyfriend, and then my daughter Abby was with them, and yeah, they're incredibly supportive. But it was just nice. It was actually impressive how many people were here watching. We thought it was
Nice.
going to be dead. So, yeah, no, it was. It was really cool. But you were missed for sure.
Yeah, well,
but
I would've
Brenda
been
showed.
out.
Our good buddy Brenda made an
Nice.
appearance. Yeah, she got a
Snuck
picture
away
of
from
me
work.
hitting somebody against the glass.
That's awesome.
Yeah, to
You're
show
gonna
it
have
to
to
you.
blow it up. Oh, you could put it on your card.
Oh, that's a good
On your hockey
idea.
card, you could make one.
I will make one.
Yeah, that's
All right.
awesome.
But yeah, overall, I think outside of working the week and the kids' extracurriculars, that was really the main focus of my week. And yourself?
Well, myself was
Wah, wah.
pretty quiet. Friday, I took the day out to take Kate to her medical, and so that was fine. But then Saturday morning, I was supposed to get up and go to work, and I woke up and I felt like death. So that flu that I think I talked about last podcast, it hit me out of nowhere. I was fine going to bed Friday night, and when I woke up Saturday morning, I couldn't move. Like everything hurt, all my joints.
Almost sounds
muscle-
COVID-y.
Yeah, kind of. But I had no respiratory. Like I sounded a little chesty, but I didn't have anything. I had sinus pain, but yeah. Anyway, so the long and short of it is, I literally slept for 2.5 days. Like I slept all day. Saturday, Chris came home and he didn't know because he left for work that morning. And he didn't know I was sick when he left. And then he comes home at 5 o'clock and finds me in bed, and he's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I'm not good." So I got up and had a slice of toast and went back to bed, and I slept the entire night. And then Sunday, I think I went to the couch for an hour or two, then slept the entire night. And then Monday, kind of the same thing. And it's really only
crazy
been in the last day
intense.
or two where I've actually. But the other thing is is that I'm feeling so much better, but I do anything and I fall asleep.
Get tired.
Yeah, like anything at all. So yesterday I planned on going into work. I told everybody, I'll be there in the afternoon and we can go through some of the stuff we need to get done. And so I made a cup of tea, sat down, and that was like at 1 or 2 o'clock. And the next thing I know, Chris is there. Like, he gets home at 5. I'm like, where did the afternoon go? Like, I literally just sat down with a cup of tea and I was out.
Obviously,
so.
you needed it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Whatever it was not fun, but I'd say I'm past the worst of it. I'm not feeling dizzy when I stand up
good.
anymore. So, yeah, it sucked. It really, really, truly sucked. So my weekend review, I had some wicked dreams because I slept so much. I couldn't tell you what any of them were, but you know how sometimes you wake up and you have that hanging feeling over your head that you dreamt something,
Yeah.
and you're trying so hard to remember it and you can't. Yeah, I had a lot of those. Yeah.
You need to keep a book by your bed.
Yeah,
I
but
know, I
haven't.
say that too, and I don't do it. Because I have all the best business ideas when I go to bed. I woke Roy up the other night. I was like, you need to hear this idea. And I might have not been completely sober. And I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, go back to bed. I was like, I'm glad I bounced it off you and not someone at work. But I will also say, I missed you at the hockey tournament, but I also missed you because we were supposed to get together Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then so Chris came over and we're like, well, 3 people, games, let's watch a comedian. And we're all just like, blah, on the couch. And I felt so bad. And he's like, I'm going to head back home. I'm like, nah, I'm sorry.
I was in bed and he comes in and I'm like, what are you doing? And I said, you guys didn't play sequence? Like, that's what we were going over to do. And he's like, no, watch the comedian, and we all kind of fell asleep on the couch. So I'm like, oh, okay.
It was a super, super hardcore
Yeah.
party.
So,
But
like, yeah, we like our sequence. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to do that again. But yeah, that was funny.
yeah, I felt really bad, but I think we were all just sort of done, tired. But oh no, one of the kids is here.
Lauren,
What do you
forgot your hair
need?
tie? I don't.
I don't have any.
Well, that's me. Sorry.
Does she have an extra one? Abby. Does Abby have one? I don't know, buddy.
Maybe.
Abby might have one in her locker. Do you have an elastic in your locker? See?
Girl, you heard me complain about having no elastic. Okay, love
Love
you guys.
you. All right. Well, maybe on that note,
Yeah, shall
Yeah.
we wrap it up and
We'll
we
wrap-
come back?
yeah.
We're going to talk about our shows that we're watching, shows that interest us,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. See what crazy things come up.
all right. We'll chat soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Attention collectors and enthusiasts looking for the ultimate custom collectibles? It's Patch Madness. Custom trading cards for sport to non-sport, relic cards, and even stickers. If you can dream it, we can create it. Reach out today at twoboredladies24@gmail.com for your personalized masterpiece. Patch Madness, where your passion becomes a card.
Welcome back to part 2 of episode 3 of Two Bored Ladies. We got Karen
That's me.
and Angie back with you. So I think we were going to move into talking about a few of the shows that we're watching right now or that we'd recommend. So why don't you start us off?
Okay. Well, I just spent a lot of days on the couch.
Yes.
Right? So prime TV viewing time. And we are very fortunate and privileged to have access to a number of different streaming apps. So right now I've got quite a few on the go. And I'm going back to the days when we had to wait for them to come out every week, because some of
Oh,
the
that's
streamers only
hardcore.
do it every week.
Yeah.
They don't put it all out. So I am watching Severance. Have you watched Severance? It's on Apple
No,
TV.
is that the one with Adam Scott?
Yes, it is.
It does look
so
good.
I watched the first season. That was, I think it was 2022, and it had all been out when I stumbled across it. So I got to watch it like start to finish without having to wait for releases, and it's really cool because it has this premise of people are severed, so they undergo this procedure where when they go down the elevator or the elevator to so they clock in at work, they change the clothes, and then they get on the elevator, and as they go down the elevator, they become their work self. So they've got their work person, and then their outside of work person. So they call them their innie and their outie.
So they're aware that they're severed?
They are, but
Okay.
they have no memory of anything outside of their work.
Weird.
It
While
is
they're
really
at
weird.
work.
Yeah, while they're at work. And when they're out of work, they have no memory of what they did in work.
Okay.
Right? So it's really, really weird. Like, they don't, when they first go in there, like, it's a shock and they have to be told what happened because they don't know where they are, what's
Right.
going on. They don't have any memory, but of who they are, but then they get shown a video of themselves saying, I've agreed to be severed, and you're my work self and I'm my outside self.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's really, really cool. And then, of course, it's kind of, we were talking about David Lynch.
Yeah.
It's kind of David Lynchy because it goes all weird, and there's like goats, and then there's like
Goats? did you
yeah,
say?
and then there's really old computers, and then there's like the camera work is odd and strange, and just some of the dialogue, and yeah, it's if anybody's into like off-kilter stuff like that, I would highly recommend
Okay.
Severance.
So don't want any spoilers, and if this will spoil, just say so. But what's the advantage? Why would someone want to be severed?
So we find this out near the start, so I'm not spoiling too much. Adam Scott, he's the main character, and I should probably say this at the start of this, as I talk about shows, TV shows, movies. Even if we ever talk about music one day, I don't know the names of songs. I don't know the names of actors. I don't know the names of the characters that they're playing because, like, God forbid I retain any
It's just
information.
the story.
Yeah, but your man, the dark guy, tall guy who's in other shows as well, that's Adam Scott. Don't ask me what his name
Parks
is.
and Rec. He was so
Oh,
good
he's
in
in Parks and Rec, yeah. So, so he what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it shows that he decided to become severed because his wife died, and he was really struggling with grief, and he thought that if he at least had 8 hours of his day that would be taken up with something other than grieving for her, it would give him space to be able to move on and to heal.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't necessarily say why some of the others do, but I think you might get a decent, better pay, stuff like that, like if
Okay.
you're willing to do it. So, but like what the work is that they do down there is just so weird. Like it's not, there's like 4 of them sitting in this little, like big ass room, and they're all like in a little cubicle beside each other, and they're just randomly hitting numbers, and they have to hit their quota by the quarter, and like their quota is grouping numbers together that feels right. So there's all these numbers on the screen, and there's no rhyme or reason. They just hover their mouse over it, and it's like, yeah, that feels right, so click on it, and then that's their quota. Like, what the hell?
That's weird. Doesn't that kind of... So now, like, you're curious, what is that feeding into? Because it makes me think of in Lost, when
Yeah.
the guy was I can't remember
Pressing the
now.
button.
Yes, and they
Yes.
had to press it
Yeah,
at a certain...
every so many,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why, yeah, it's good. It's wacky. It's out there. I enjoy it. So season 2 is out, and I think I'm 2 or 3 episodes into season 2.
Oh, maybe I'll give it a
So,
go. But I think
yeah.
last week we also talked about how with my ADHD I have a lot of trouble completing things. And so this sounds like a show Roy would enjoy. And I'm
So
only
just torture him and not finish
just
it.
not gonna finish it.
Oh my god, Roy.
That man puts up with a lot.
Yeah. When it comes to shows. Oh, yeah, so I'm watching that, and then I stumbled across a show on Disney Plus, and it's called Paradise. And there's only, I didn't realize that it wasn't all released, or I may not have started it. But there's 3 episodes, so I saw that there was more than 1 episode, so I thought, oh, okay, this is out. I don't know how long it's been out. But it starts off, and there's, now here we go, the guy that was in the show.
I'm gonna need a little more.
And so it was, I didn't really watch the show, but like everybody was caught up in it. Was
it
it This
Lost?
Is Us?
Oh, I never
Or-
watched This Is Us, but a lot of people like
Okay,
it.
and that was where there were the 4 adults, and they were thinking
Oh,
of
I
their
know.
memories of when they were kids, and the father died. Oh, well, he was one of the sons. He was one of the
Was
kids.
that Wonder Years?
No! Don't confuse me, I'm easily led.
No, it could have been This Is Us. I never watched it.
Yeah, okay, I think it is This Is Us. And he was one of the twins, or not the twins, whatever they were. There was triplets. 3 or 4 of them.
You
3
can
of
tell me
them.
anything you want.
But he was the black guy anyways, and he's been in lots of other things, and he's really, really good. So he is a Secret Service agent, and he's assigned to protecting the president. And the president, this is a name I know, is James Marsden, because I like James Marsden.
So what else has James Marsden been in?
Oh, he's been in a bunch of rom-coms. Which
Oh.
I like rom-coms.
Does he have kind of like a chiseled jaw?
No.
Oh.
Well, chiseled. I don't know if I would call him chiseled.
It's anybody that doesn't have a beard.
He was in 27 Dresses.
Oh, come on.
But it was famous because they sang Benny and the Jets up on the bar. Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
I love that song.
Yeah, they did a really good job on it.
Okay,
No,
so
he's been in tons and tons
I
of
know
movies.
the name, I just can't
Yeah.
picture the face.
I just can't remember
Doesn't
any
have
of
a
them
beard,
now. No, he doesn't have a beard. And
Okay.
he's kind of like shaggy hair a little bit. But anyway, so it's really good. So the first 3 episodes, I didn't see where it was going, and I'm not going to spoil it, because if anybody wants to watch it, it's also, I didn't expect it to be another thing. I thought it was just like another, police, like FBI.
So that's what it is?
thing.
It's like a cop drama?
Well, that's what I thought it was going to be, but it's
Oh.
not.
Okay, what
Yeah,
is it?
I cannot tell you. It's weird because it goes off in a different direction that I didn't see coming, and that's.
Is it a fun direction? Like now you're enthralled and you're
I
waiting?
I am, because it's up my alley. Yeah, it'd probably be up Roy's alley too.
Oh, so weird and science fiction-y?
Well, not science fiction-y so much, no. But no, yeah, that's
Okay.
all I'm going to say about that.
So that's on Disney Plus.
Yes, and it's called Paradise. And I'm watching. You know what? I think it sounds like I have too much time on my hands. But Kate and I are watching Yellow Jackets.
Oh, that's right. She
And-
told me. She was explaining that one to me.
Yeah, so she's watched it and she loves it. So now she's watched it with me, or she's making me watch it with her, and I'm enjoying it. And it's about a girls' soccer team who they were in high school and they were flying to nationals, and the plane crashes, and some of them die and some of them survive, and then it's all about like how they survived. But what it is showing you these kids like 25 years later, and like the ones that survived, right? And some weird and dark shit went on when they were out there.
Was it Lord of the Fliesy?
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Can't remember the names of anybody in it. There's the one girl that I like. She's married to Jason Ritter. That's the son, right? Because John
Jack?
Ritter.
Jack Ritter? John Ritter.
John Ritter, right?
yeah.
He was in Three's Company
Yep.
and stuff. Okay.
Yep.
So it's his son who I really like. He's a really good actor.
But he's not in the show. He's married to the person who's
Yes.
in the act.
Yeah. She's Australian, but she doesn't have an Australian accent in it. She's also been in numerous things that's really good, which I can't remember any of them. But yeah, so we're watching that, and then I'm watching Squid Games 2, season 2.
Oh yes, that is out.
So I think I have 1 or 2 episodes left of that. So
That was really big when that.
it
first went
was,
away.
and I mean it's gory, but it's kind of cool. Like again, I love these different premises of stuff that's just out there and wacky that you just don't see shit coming. You know, I like that. I like being surprised.
So this, I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent here
Okay.
in a different direction. So this made me think of a TV idea that Roy had that he wanted me to share. Did I tell you this?
I don't know, maybe.
So he's like, if you talk about TV shows, you should talk about shows that would be interesting. So he's created this show where you would take people who are mildly ill or sick, and you would have different teams of medical practitioners, but some would be like naturopaths, some would be like traditional Western medicine, some would be Eastern medicine, some might be whatever, the medicine man from a tribe, and then you see who is the most effective, and I'm just like, I don't really.
So is it
this
like a
was-
game show, like where they have to like they each get somebody, and it's whoever cures them the fastest, they win $1 million or something?
Ooh, maybe he didn't really have like an end game. I don't
Oh,
think so much,
okay.
but he's like, I think that's a good premise. People would watch that,
People love medical shows.
and
you
where
can't go
people
wrong.
are competing,
Yeah.
right? Like maybe one team gets knocked off every week because their person is worse
Yeah.
or less good.
Yeah. All of a sudden the patient dies. Oh, sorry.
We're gonna have to turn your torch out. You're off the aisle.
Off the island.
Anyway, he's not a show writer, but that was his pitch. It was another bedtime thought.
Oh, it's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
alright.
I often wonder if we wouldn't be amazing show writers, but you got to think there's so many people that that come up with these amazing
oh my god.
ideas.
I
you know?
mean, look what we're putting together for this. Like we said that we were gonna prepare.
I've yet to think of anything ahead of
No,
time.
we showed up today at the boards, and Karen wanted to do 2 of these in one night.
Well, you're going to be gone next week.
Yeah, so there will be, I think, a hiatus.
Yeah.
Or I'm gone this weekend too, unless Alistair doesn't get better.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping he gets
We
better.
do want him to get better. We do want him to get better, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if he doesn't, maybe we record one from somewhere, an
Yeah,
alternate
kitchen table.
location. Yeah, by the sequence board.
There we
Which
go.
I don't know if there's any fans out there of sequence, but we play a lot of that.
We do.
It's a pretty sweet game. Okay,
This weekend.
sorry, I took us on a tangent.
Yeah, so those are the big ones that I've been watching, and there's a few others that I check in on every now and again to see if there's a new episode out. I actually, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, but I watched the new Matlock with Kathy Bates.
She looks so good,
I
hey?
know, she lost some weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she
Is
looks
she
really-
Matlock?
Yeah.
That is awesome. I might give
Yeah.
that a go. I loved
She
original
is
Matlock,
so
and I like Kathy
good.
Bates.
She is so good. It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, Lauren's
but
doing their
she's-
routine.
Oh, I was supposed to be recording it.
Oh,
All right. Well, I'm sure
mom
they'll
fail.
do it again. It'll ask them to do it for me before we leave. But yeah. So she was really good in that, and then there was something else that I'm waiting on a new episode of, and I don't know how long it's going to take. Well, I mean, other than I still watch Grey's Anatomy. I am one of those people
Is
that
it still going,
Yeah,
like
I think
new
it's like I don't
shows?
know, season 50 or something. I don't know.
It's like
No, I
this-
think it's 23 or 24.
Like, how long did ER go?
Not long enough.
All right then.
Not long
All
enough.
right
Like
then.
I loved ER. I loved ER. No, I don't know. Was it 10 years? Maybe it wasn't
I
as long.
feel like it was a long, like,
Do you think it was longer than Friends? Because Friends was on the same Thursday night here in North America, it was must-see TV on Thursday night. It was Friends, and then what's
Was that
was it
NBC?
Frasier? Yeah.
Oh, Frasier, yeah. I loved
I
Frasier.
haven't watched the
That
new
was a good
Frasier. Have you
show.
watched the new
I
Frasier?
didn't know there was one.
Yeah, there is.
Was
Yeah.
there Full House? Full House was TGI Friday.
Yes, that was Friday. I never watched that one. Yeah, but anyways, I love Dior. And then
Why
yeah,
is your kids'
Grace.
music so loud?
I know. Well, because they like Billy Joel.
They do. Okay, so Grace.
Grace, and then there is something else I'm watching, and it's on. Well, come back to me. I'll interrupt you when you're talking about your favorite shows.
Was that a jerk move?
No, I didn't mean that. I just mean because it won't come to me when I'm supposed to be thinking about it. It'll come to me when I'm supposed to
Okay.
be focusing on what you're saying.
So those are some new shows, and I
Yeah.
really don't watch new shows. I'm a creature of comfort,
Yes,
and
you
I've
are.
got some comfort shows. So maybe we take a break,
Yeah.
throw it to commercial, and when we come back, we can talk about some of the older school shows that maybe we're still watching,
Yeah.
or just watching on repeat over and over again.
In the background,
Alright.
yeah, sounds good.
Feeling stuck? At Coaching with Karen, we believe the answers you need are already within you. Whether it's life, wellness, or career guidance, Karen is here to help you uncover your path and move forward with confidence. Because a better tomorrow starts with the right support today. So visit us at coachingwithkaren@gmail.com to take your first step, and that's coaching with a K.
Hello and welcome back to part 3 of Two Bored Ladies. And now it is Angie's turn to talk about, well, you're not watching new shows.
No.
So tell me about what is your favorite go-to comfort show?
So comfort show, almost always playing in the background at our house, is The Office. I'm fortunate because Abs loves The Office as well. So and the other two tolerate it, like they don't mind it. And Abby's had birthday cakes made about The Office, and she's got socks and shirts, and we just, I don't know, like boom roasted it. Like we just pull out all of the one-liners, and so that's one that we'll play. We're cleaning the house, it's on in the background. We're having supper, it's on in the background, and there's 9 seasons of it, and I don't know. I mean, they're all good. It goes maybe a little bit down when Michael leaves,
Yeah.
and I don't like the Will Ferrell part, and I'm usually a really big Will Ferrell fan, but when he comes in and he's D'Angelo, I'm not a real big fan of that.
Yeah, I haven't watched enough. I can't comment on that.
But so I really like Robert California, and he's played by James Spader.
Love James
Blacklist?
Spader. Yes.
Yes,
He's
and
such
he's
an
so
amazing
good.
actor.
He's the fucking Lizard King in this. That's what he says, and it's so funny. Like it just. Anyway, so that's one of our solid go-tos. Another one is like Bob's Burgers. It's really good. A little more child appropriate than some of the other animated shows. Even The Simpsons sometimes pushes
Yeah.
the envelope for Alistair, though he still watches it. So those are two. But the shows that I really enjoy watching in the evenings when we're chilling out is more of like, so we're big Matt Berry fans. So for those who don't know, he's a British actor, comedian, musician, songwriter. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but next time I do my program,
I will record you. Yes, no problem, honey.
So yeah, Matt Berry, he's super, super talented. Oh, here's Abby's skate. So anyway, very talented, very funny, and I love him in almost everything he's done. So,
So then you just follow him down.
yeah,
whenever
so
he's on.
whatever rabbit holes. So anyway, it started with this show that we found on Netflix called Toast. And there's some pretty weird scenes. Like if you watch the first episode, I was just like, oh, this is weird. Like what is happening in this show?
Yeah.
But
And you
then,
found it on Netflix?
yeah. So it was available on Netflix. It's not anymore. So
Yeah.
we've now downloaded all of the episodes of it. Because it's also hard to find it on DVD, not in the format, the European
Yeah, the
format.
European format, yeah.
So, but it's only 3 seasons long, and but it's just, and I think 6 episodes a season with 1 bonus episode with Michael Ball, and it's just, but it's so ridiculous. He's a struggling actor who's in like the worst play ever on the east side of London, and his agent is hilarious, Jane Plouffe, and the shit that he gets himself into is just so random.
No, and like everything about like everybody around him is also whacked.
Yeah.
And they all behave like it's perfectly normal.
And they're so mean to him. And like, it's just, I don't know, there's just something so funny about it. And he's so self-depreciating. And it's just, yeah, so I love it. It is one that Roy and I could throw on any night, any episode, and we'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
So then following Matt Berry some more, we went down the rabbit hole and ended up on a show that we could only find on YouTube called Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Okay, haven't seen it.
Yeah, so if you like spoofs of medical dramas, so you're a big medical drama fan. Dark Place is this hospital that they work at, but like it's shot like a really crappy 80s B movie, and the acting is terrible. And Iote, what's his name? The guy from the It Crowd. He's tall, wears glasses, talks really slow.
Stephen Merchant?
No.
He's
it's
really
like
tall,
Iote,
glasses.
black gentleman. Anyway, he's like the director at the hospital, and it's just like his acting is purposefully terrible, and it's fantastic.
Oh, check it out.
Yeah, and it's a gooder. It's really, really good. And then there's Snuffbox that Matt Berry's in as well, which is also very good, very crude, not child friendly.
Well,
but
I think you gotta say that about a lot of Matt Berry stuff. It
pretty
can
much,
be.
yeah. Although he is BB-8 in the new Star Wars. Not BB-8. He's a taller, thin robot in Star Wars.
Really?
So this, for the audience, I'll make clear, I don't like Star Wars. So I don't know any of their people or machines or whatever, but he's one of the robots. I actually collected his card with his autograph on it, so
Yeah?
it's the Star Wars card of that character, and it's got Matt
Fantastic.
Berry's
Didn't know
autograph.
that.
Yeah, so he does a lot of voiceover work too, which is actually a funny part of Toast because he gets made fun of because he sold himself out and he only does voiceover work. But
And those, like, if anybody
Oh
even
my
just
God, Clem
go on
Fandango.
YouTube and look up, like, Matt Berry Toast voiceover, that part of the show is almost, like,
Yeah.
for me, is hands down the best part.
the producers in the sound room, like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Clem H. Fandango. Like,
Yes, I know it's you, Fandango.
I can hear, yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango.
Of course they can hear you.
Oh, and when they can read the script and it's just the bees, bzz, bzz, bzz.
Or when they had him say yes a gazillion different
Yes.
ways. Yes.
And then they're like,
yes.
how about giving us a no? And he just,
Oh, you guys gotta look that one up as well. We're
Toast
looking
is
up.
so
Yeah.
good. Yeah. And I guess I think where I would go to, and then we can flip it over to you for your comfort shows, but I don't know why, and I imagine this makes Roy really angry, but he doesn't say anything. He goes along with it. I like watching Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
We've watched like all 18 seasons that are on Netflix, and I just restarted them not long ago. We're already back on season 8. And it's funny because I mustn't really be watching because every time we get to a new season,
see
I'm like,
something new?
I wonder who wins this one. It's like, Roy's like, what? But I don't know, there's just something like, again, just comfort. And I don't know if people out there have those types of shows where it's just like a safety blanket. And I follow a lot of office stuff online. And there's a lot of people out there that
Oh,
that
yeah.
show is just like their comfort
Yeah.
blanket, and it plays.
Yeah.
It's like, the familiar voices maybe after a while and stuff. So
Yeah.
so that's sort of what I've been watching. I know that Roy would love it if we tried new things. I just can't get there right now, but one day maybe. What does your family watch?
You know, we're all kind of on different things, but if it was a movie, it's, you know, actually it's hard because Chris isn't necessarily into the type of the shows that the kids and I would watch. And so the kids watch a lot of anime, and they love their anime. And so Chris, you know, trying to connect and do stuff with the kids, he started watching some with them. And so we've
good
done a
dad.
bit of that. I've watched a little bit too, and so we've done that with the kids. The kids are really big. One of the anime studios is Studio Ghibli, and they do like these really beautiful movies. Like they usually don't make a whole lot. Sometimes I shouldn't say they don't make a whole lot of sense. Not all of them, but some of them are wacky and weird. But they also are beautifully drawn, cinematography is amazing on them, and the music is usually amazing. So yeah, I highly recommend anything by Studio Ghibli. And then, yeah, other than that, it's like my comfort show used to be Star Trek Next Generation.
Okay.
Yeah, like the kids would come in and it would always be on. And they're like, and they used to when they were little, they'd call her, "Are you watching your future show, Mom?" So I don't know why. I haven't watched it in a long time because I loved all of those Star Treks. Actually, that was something that Darren and I, my brother, we were really used to watch a lot together, and we have some good memories of that. And we still shoot each other, stupid memes and stuff about it. But yeah, so Star Trek has always been a big one for me too. But other than that, like I can't say like Chris and I. One thing we watched together, just the two of us, from start to end, was Battlestar Galactica, like not the old series, but like the one that came out in the early 2000s. It's fantastic, so good. I think Chris bought me the Blu-rays, and we watched every season. And the same thing where you look, okay, the show's an hour long. Okay, when this is over, we have to go to bed, right?
Yeah.
It's like 10:30. We really got to get up in the morning, and it's like. I can't go to bed like that.
Yeah.
I need to go. So then all of a sudden it's 11:30.
That's a good show when it does that.
Oh, so good, so good. So that's one of I'd say the bigger ones for us. But other than that, I mean, the kids have probably, when they listen to this, they go, "Mom, you didn't talk about this, you didn't talk about that."
Yeah.
But Chris and I do like to watch comedians together.
Yes, you guys do watch a lot of them, and then we go to the live shows for some of them.
Yes. Yeah, we do enjoy that.
I had one thing I wanted to just share based on what you were saying there. Your kids also got my kids very much into anime, like very, very much into anime. So they are, Abby's like constantly on like Crunchyroll and looking for new shows. And this show only comes out once a week now. And but yeah, and Alistair's into them too. So actually today when I got home, I was like, can we watch anything that's not Japanese? And it's not even that I'm really bothered by it, but just in that moment, I needed to understand what was being said without reading the subtitles.
Well, that's a big part of the anime is that, you don't listen to the English dub. You gotta read the subtitles, right? And you know what? That has become a thing in my house. We cannot have the TV on without subtitles. Like, I can't understand what they're saying if there's no subtitles on the screen. It's weird. I don't know what it is. It's really, really weird. So yeah, that's become a thing for us, having to have the subtitles. Like I'm watching Squid Games, it's in Korean. I could watch it dubbed with the English, but I find like it's better with the original voices because it means more, so it means I have to read it. But so Squid Games I enjoy. But no, other than that, I mean, I think Harry Potter was a movie, like different than the shows, but that was a huge one for us. And the kids and I, we would always be happy to throw on Harry Potter, and Chris used to watch that with us too. But yeah, that's a big one for us.
That is good. I had another thought there, and I was trying to be polite and listen to the conversation, and now of course it's gone.
Yeah,
but
even that happens.
It happens so much.
Oh my god, that's
it's so infuriating, right? So I'm on this Concerta, and I thought it was gonna help, and I'll tell you what, that's a hard no.
Well, maybe it'd be worse if you weren't honest. Who knows?
Oh my god, could you imagine?
Well, I'm not on anything from memory, and I tell you, it's bad. I remember having that doctor's appointment going like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I actually worry sometimes that I can lose my train of thought so easily.
But I'm always made to feel like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So I've brought it, because I forget to tell them about problems I'm having, and I'm just like, my memory is so bad. And they're like, it's just all part of my ADHD. Like, it's not a big deal, but I'm pretty sure there's a problem. But, just carry on.
If they say, perimenopause or menopause one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to lose it. Like, why? Well, I just feel as if, and again, I'm not one of those people who is like, men against women, women against men. Like, I'm not that way, but it's like, honestly, if men had to go through what we go through with menopause, do you not think this would have all been sorted out a long time ago?
I'll tell you, the prescriptions and stuff would all be free.
I mean, they got Viagra sorted out really fast, right? Nothing for the woman. Oh God. Yeah. No, I That's a bone of contention for me.
Well, maybe next
Yeah.
show we can go a little bit into some perimenopause, some mental health
Yeah.
stuff, and maybe talk a little bit about the stuff that we've been going through and how we find it's affecting us. I think we both have some interesting perspectives and some real life experience.
We've been through the ringer ourselves. That's one way I look at it. We got through the other side.
And it takes a village and some really good
Yeah.
friends. So
No, absolutely. And some days you think I got through, but then it's like, oh, did I though? Am I not still in it? But no, I'm through it. The rest of it. I had a doctor's appointment today actually just for a refill of prescriptions, and so I was just chatting with him, and he says, "Do you have any questions or anything else you'd like to bring up?" And I was like, "Well, I said I don't know if this is anything. I said I have gained a lot of weight in the last few years. I'm not having any luck of getting it off. Well, I'm not really trying very hard, but I'm just to get that motivation and whatnot." I says, "But I've started noticing I have like a wheeze, like I get a little queasy sometimes." And I said, "Is it just because I'm carrying that much extra weight in my body's like Karen, like we can't breathe with all
Yeah,
this
like
on us, right?" so he listened to my chest and he's like, "Yeah, no, I hear the wheeze. There's a little bit of a rattle there. We'll send you for a chest X-ray." And then I'm like, "Okay." And I said, "So, like, any idea?" And he said, "Well, have you ever had asthma?" And I said, "Yeah, I had it as a kid." And I said, "I used to have a puffer for it stuff, but like I haven't had to take a puffer since like 13 years old." And he's like, "Yeah, it might be coming back." I'm like, "Coming back?"
jeez.
And he says, "Well, there's some people are unlucky." And I'm like, "What?"
Some people are unlucky. You drew the short stick. I don't know what to tell you.
So I was just like, "Oh my god!" I was hoping you would just say, "Yeah, no, that's nothing," but it might be something. So I forgot to go to the pharmacy and pick up my prescription. So I have a puffer waiting for me at the pharmacy with some steroids to help me breathe a little bit better. Not that I lose breath, but it's just sometimes you can't take that deep breath. So yeah, let's add one more thing, right? One more thing. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. We could probably do stuff that would help. And we'll get into that in another show.
Yeah.
But we really don't.
No, and you don't mean like a Vicks bath or anything.
No.
You mean physical activity,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. No, I really got to get on that.
Okay.
I feel like when it starts to get warmer, although I'm fairly certain I said the exact same thing last year, when it gets warmer, I'm going to start moving
There's a
more.
chance, there's a chance.
Yeah.
So we digress.
Yes, we did.
And maybe I'll just finish with one last thing about things I watch. And this has gone long, so I'm sorry. But sports. Like, I don't feel I've properly represented myself
No, you
here.
didn't. Not at all.
So spring training's coming, so there will be 162 Jays games unless they're playing on YouTube or Peacock, in which case, fuck that noise, because I have 19 subscriptions so that I can watch them already. I'm not getting more. And then Super Bowl's coming up, so that'll be a Sunday right off in our house. It'll be all the pregame talk shows, which none of my family enjoys, so they'll be off doing whatever they do when I'm doing
Well,
that.
they can come over and like have appies with us, and you can be at home in peace,
Oh, I love
watching
this
all of
idea.
that.
Okay, all right. So we'll wrap it up there on some of our shows. But if you have favorite shows you like to watch or comfort shows, post them. Let us know. And
Absolutely.
we're always looking for new and interesting. Well, more Karen is looking for new shows. But if you have a comfy show that's old, I might partake, or a Matt Berry offering. I'm
Yeah.
always open ears.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good.
So we'll come back in a minute and close off the show.
Sounds good.
Thanks. Welcome back to part 4 of episode 3 of Two Bored Ladies. So I think we had a pretty good show here, in our opinion.
Yeah,
They're
well,
all
we enjoy each other's
amazing.
company, so it's always good.
But talked a little bit about the week that was, some new shows that Karen's been watching, and then some older shows or comfort shows that both our families enjoy. So just a reminder that there will be a 1-week hiatus
Yep.
because of work.
Unless poor Alistair is still sick, then potentially we might record,
We could
one
record
this
something
weekend.
on the
Yeah.
weekend.
But before we sign off, just a quick show that I forgot to mention
Yeah.
that you introduced me to,
Ooh, I'm
and
excited.
it was
What
the
could it
one
be?
with is it Catherine Tate? No, what's her name?
Catherine Tate Hartzell.
Yeah, hard
Yes.
Sell. Yeah, so she's a British comedian. She's absolutely
fucking
amazing.
funny.
And she did this whole show. How many characters was she
At
acting?
least 6.
She
At least
played
6
at least
different
6 characters, and
characters.
they're all in a jail. She's the warden. She's a bunch of the.
Oh my God,
um,
she's so good.
cap-
in it.
yeah, and then it ends on the worst ending ever.
Ever.
They never renewed it.
No, I mean,
but
it's
yeah.
only one season, like 8 episodes
Oh,
maybe,
so
I
good.
think. But so, on her note,
I love her. Everything
she's
she
so
does.
good. And she's really phenomenal. So, British comedians is her new thing, and
Yeah.
BritBox, right?
Yeah.
But like Jimmy Carr, so Catherine Tate is on 8 out of 9 Cats,
Yeah.
does Countdown, and she's so funny on there. And then that introduced us to a whole world of other British.
IQ is an amazing
I
show.
love IQ, yeah.
yeah.
And like Sean Locke, unfortunately, he's passed away, but he was phenomenal on 8 out of 10
No,
Cats.
he passed away.
Yeah, a couple years of cancer. Yeah, a couple years
Really?
ago, yeah.
I must be watching a lot of old stuff. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Did you know that 8 out of 9 Cats, so it originated as 8 out of 9 Cats, where it was like this show about polls they would take with people, and then that morphed into Does Countdown. But
Okay.
the original 8 out of 10 Cats, Roy and I were watching season 1, is from like 2002, 2003.
Really?
And they were asking questions about things, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's like pre-Andy Murray tennis. Like, it was just
Wow.
crazy. So yeah, anyway, if you like British comedians...
I'm gonna have to go back and find those.
Yeah, James, there's Jonathan, who's the other guy with Sean Locke who hosts? I can't remember. Anyway,
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr's phenomenal. We've seen him live not long
He
ago.
did. He was very good.
So yeah, if you're into comedy, check out BritBox
Yeah.
and a lot of
and
the
Hard
comedians on there.
Sell. You
Oh.
gotta watch Hard Sell.
And Catherine Tate's in The Office
Yeah.
as well.
Yes, that's
and
right.
that's what I
Yeah.
started following her from there. She's Nellie, and a lot of people hate Nellie, but she grew on me. And then Catherine Tate is an actress. She actually had a whole bunch of sketch comedy shows
Yes,
too. The
yeah.
Catherine Tate show. So
Yeah.
yeah, check her out.
Excellent.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and until then, stay warm, have fun,
Yes.
and we still haven't come up. Did we get any
Ta-ta.
comments?
No.
Oh, well then you people are letting us down.
Seriously.
Help us out with this.
Yeah. Stay classy?
Yeah, sounds
All right.
good.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode was brought to you by In My Parents' Basement Studios. I hope you enjoyed, and you guys have a good night.
Just like a wave, hatch plans that we'll never save. Frozen hair and a frosty kiss. In the ice, our secrets twist. Talking about dreams.